Gilly, hello. How are you? Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to see you. Hi, Wilma.
Gilly, you're muted. If you were saying hi, we didn't hear you.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it's great to be here. I've been traveling a lot, so it's just that it's great that this time really works for me. So it's in the evening in the UK. Yeah.
Nice, good, wonderful. I'm so glad you're here. It's so wonderful to see you.
You're
We
looking
haven't been,
amazing.
pardon?
You're looking amazing.
Oh, thank you. You too. It's been so long since we've been to the UK.
Yeah, I know.
2019.
That was probably when I met you, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
think so. I think that was our last time there. Hi,
Mm.
Liza. Liza, I'm so sorry about Dylan. Her little guinea pig passed.
Oh,
So we'll have to put him in the healing circle at the end. And you too, Liza. I'm sure that was really hard. Just want to acknowledge that. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, girl.
Yeah, I had no idea. He didn't eat his vitamin C tablet the night before, which was very strange because as soon as I give those to them, they're like, "Oh," and they eat them right away. And he didn't do that. And the next morning he was gone. So I don't know. He was playing the day before and fine. So he was 5. I mean, that's 5 to 8 is, I guess, their life expectancy. So
Yeah, it's almost kind of nice when they
yeah,
go
thanks,
fast like that.
guys. Yes, agreed. Yeah. Glad that he didn't, I don't think, suffer really.
Well, you have a bad connection, Liza. I don't know what that is, but it's cutting up just a little bit.
Sometimes if you take the video off, that'll help your.
Yeah.
With.
If you can't get it, then yeah. And I see Charisse is here. Welcome, Charisse.
Hi, how are you?
Good, nice to see you again.
Yeah, trying to get things to work, but it's nice to be here. Thanks for the link.
Yeah, of course. So we can get started. So Gilly, what we've been doing is every week, starting this new year, we celebrate a win. And so a win could be just showing up here, or a win could be something fun that happened to you. So I'll start. And my big win is I got Rockster food from the UK. They're now selling it in the United States, and I couldn't be happier if I tried. This is the best food in the world for dogs. So this is my big win, that I got Rockster today delivered to me, and I'm excited. So win for me and my dogs. Go ahead, Jamie. What you got? Thank you. Oh yeah, we have to celebrate. Woo!
Woo!
Yay!
Yes. So my big win is actually I was sick for a week, had a head cold. I didn't do much, but the win is I was able to take time and just rest, because when I worked in government, we had all these hoops we had to jump through and, things we had to do. And it would have been impossible to take a week off, truly. And I took a week off, did a little bit on the couch, but I took care of myself. And that is a win.
Good job, Jamie.
Thank
Wilma, what do you want to celebrate?
Well, I've been like Jamie. I've been sick since Christmas.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it started off with COVID in November. And then my Christmas rush for grooming started, and I had to get back into the grooming as a sole proprietor. As you know, you just can't push clients. So I went back into the swing of things. And then right after Christmas, well, my body told me, you didn't take enough time to relax and take care of yourself. This is what happens. So
what's your win? Give us a win, Wilma.
Well, my win is that I did a little puppy on Monday, and I didn't have the energy. But anyway, I kept on saying, all is well, all is well, all is well. Because the last time she was here, she was hyper. Well, she settled right down. I did the whole groom, and the customer, and I was very proud.
Yeah.
So that's my win.
Oh, thank you, Wilma. Liza, what is your win? Really quickly, because we want to get through these because we're getting more people hanging on.
I finished writing my 6th song this week.
What?
I just have to record it now.
Cherise, what is your win?
I am in Arizona, which is a win for me because I've been wanting to get here for a year and wasn't able to. So very excited.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cherise. Gilly, what is your win? Oh, you're on mute.
My win is I'm back in the UK for a couple of weeks. I'm living in France now, and I get to spend time with my god dog, who's a black Labrador.
Oh,
And all
yay.
my friends. Yeah.
Yeah, we're so glad you're here, Gilly.
Okay.
hi, Gilly.
Lois, what is your win?
I'm not sure it's really a win yet, but I'm doing a foster cat. I've never done foster before, and I'm plugging along, trying to introduce him to my other guy who's 14 years old, and the new guy is 2 years old. And they're really not jiving, but I'm plugging along and trying, so I'm considering that a win.
Yes, that's a win. And it's a win that
That's
you're doing
definitely a win.
foster. Yeah, wonderful. Mary Lynn,
Yay.
your
Well,
win.
I did it. I purchased the template and I watched the tutorial yesterday and got freaked out. But I overcame my reticence and fear, and now I'm going to plug along and put a brochure together.
Yes,
Yeah.
huge win. Thank you so much, everyone. It's very
Yeah.
exciting for us to do this because it raises our energy. It raises our dopamine levels, right? We get excited. We want to, get going. And I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm like, ugh.
Well, it
Anyway.
lets us support each other too.
Yes, it's a wonderful way. And it just strengthens our community together. That when we can celebrate these wins, it just bonds us together even deeper. So before we get into the Q&As, I just want to remind everyone that on February 2nd through 4th, we have the Letting Animals Lead Us to a Better Future conference. And so we encourage everyone to sign up for it. And we're also encouraging all of our community to get in and talk about it, like talk about what's happening in the conference. It's a beautiful community forum in our platform, Huva. So when you register, you'll get a link to download it. It's super easy to download. It's just like a regular app. And then you go in and you can go to the community forum and you can interact with other attendees. You can post questions. We want people to interact during the speaker sessions. There's a live chat there. And so even though the recordings are pre-recorded, or the interviews are pre-recorded, we still want people interacting. So we're encouraging our whole community. We talked about this last night at the Sarah meeting, everyone who's going to be there to just start commenting on the speakers. And if someone comments, maybe comment on their comment, because we all know how good it feels when we comment on something and someone goes, oh my gosh, yes, that's such a great, or second or same or whatever that is. So if we can just do that, what's going to happen is we're going to create an even bigger community, and people are going to see that the Animal Reiki, the way we practice it, the way we share it, that we're a really beautiful community of loving, wonderful people, and that we really respect animals and are truly letting them lead. So it's a great way for us to show who we are and give a really wonderful first impression of what Animal Reiki really is. And so I'm kind of touting Kathleen too as the creator of Animal Reiki, because in my mind she is. She's been doing this since 1998 informally, 2004 professionally, right? That's when she started Animal Reiki Source, and nobody else is doing that. And then for Sarah, we've been in existence for almost 15 years now. So it's going to be a wonderful conference. I hope to see all of you there. We're going to be interacting. We can do meetups right there. And so it'll be really, really fun. So I just wanted to share that. And Rockster, the food that I got from the UK, I'm going to be talking about this so much. This is superfood for your dogs. They are our main sponsor. They're our platinum sponsor. So I'm really excited. And that's another reason why I want to share about them, because they are a platinum sponsor and they were so generous to do that, because we couldn't find one that was willing to take on the larger amount, and they did. So grateful to them. All right, let's get into it.
All right, somebody's got to have some questions.
And just raise your hand like this, or you can use the emoji raise hand, whatever you want. Go ahead, Marilyn.
Hi, my question is, once again, I had a situation where there at the at the animal shelter, and I was inside the room in front of the kennels, and there were two dogs, and they were separated by a couple of kennels in between. One was quiet, the other one is very barky, loud, hyper. I was there for both of them, and the distraction of the barking. So what I discovered, and I would just like some input on that, is that to help me get centered, first of all, I was meditating with all is well. And I did find that every few seconds, after about 10 minutes, my first being there, every few seconds, the loudest animal quieted and then start up again. And then the other one started. So what my inner guidance told me, you know what, try some distance. Go outside the room, outside the door, and so they don't see you, and just offer the Reiki again and see what happens. Well, I was much more relaxed, and I was noticing that over time, and I was with them for half an hour, over time, it got quiet. It got quieter. So is there any advice you can give me? Anything you can want to say about that? Any improvements I could make?
I just have a quick question. Have you sat with these dogs before?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. One I did, but just the once.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna go with me.
So, do you
Just the once, yeah.
Okay. So,
Oh, and no, and I'm sorry. And then the other I did, yes, I did, up close and personal when he first arrived, but just once for each.
yeah. I mean, I think that your guidance was exactly right. And you did the exact thing because they settled down. And you have to remember that when we go to these dogs, the first, second, third time even, they may not settle down. So you look for those pieces, like you were, those moments of just peace,
Yeah.
even if it's just for a second. But then when you went out, you said everything quieted down. So I think,
Yeah, it was better. It was still piecemeal, but longer periods of calmness.
Yep.
And I was way more calm. So that had a lot to do with it too.
Do you ever use earplugs, Mary Lynn?
No, no. Oh,
That might help you.
might help. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Great
Okay.
question.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Great question.
I
Because we always want
appreciate
that
your input.
instant. We want that instant calming, but it doesn't happen. We have to meet the animals where they are. And
Yes.
they're just too stressed.
And what helped me is my thinking that, and I heard Kathleen say it on one of her videos, okay, it's time for me to get into myself in her meditation. So I said, okay, stop with the results, Mary Lynn, stop thinking about wanting to help them relax and all this and feel loved and less anxious. And I did, and that helped me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for
So,
sharing,
thank
Mary
you.
Lynn.
Yes.
That was wonderful. Appreciate that. So who else has a question? Lois. Yeah.
This may be obvious, but I'm wondering if does it really matter whether your eyes are open or closed when you're doing this?
Well, depends. Because if
Okay.
you're with a horse, you wouldn't want to have your eyes closed.
Right.
But if you're with a dog and you're safe, you can have your eyes closed. You know, it just depends on the situation is what I feel is that, are you safe? Is there a chance that the animal that you're working with, so cats for me, I used to have cats when I was young, but I don't trust cats because they bite, especially in the shelter. Sometimes you don't know if that cat is a biter. So for me, I always keep my eyes half open with cats. But you know, it's kind of a good practice too. So you can kind of keep aware in the shelter anyway. But if you're just at home with your own animals, or you're with a friend's animal or an animal that you trust, you can keep your eyes closed. I don't know what you want to say about that, Jamie.
Yeah, I would say the exact same thing because I work with a lot of large animals. So it's really not safe to close your eyes because they might hurt you, not meaning to, you know, they want to get up close to you. So I use like a soft gaze when I'm out at the ranch. Now, when I'm home meditating on the couch with my kids, my eyes are closed. But when it's an animal I don't know at all, then I think it's a good idea to maybe just have a soft gaze or, you know, check in once in a while. So you can be aware of what's happening because your safety is important. And if you don't know the animal, you just don't know how they're going to react.
Okay.
Yeah, horses too, especially.
Yeah.
Older horses. I've had this happen where when they're really old, they get so relaxed they can fall over. And then you can get crushed. So you have to be really careful with some of the older horses. I remember with this one Elvis, I had to like clap my hands to wake him up. It's like, you know, you start like going in this like swaying. It's like, no, Elvis, wake up, kid.
Yeah. Pigs do that too. They want to rub up against you and, you know, they could be 1,500 pounds. And
yeah.
So yeah, it's
Wow,
best to have your eyes. Like I say, I find a soft gaze works really nice. It keeps me in that place I need to be, but also I can be aware if something's coming at me.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Because that's a really important question.
It is.
Because it really depends.
Mhm.
And Gilly, you can ask any questions. It could be about business. It could be about Reiki. It could be about anything really. We're just here to have open conversations. Great. So anyone else? Liza, Wilma, do you have a question? Gilly's got a question. Great.
Hey, excellent.
Hi there. Actually, yes, it just came to me. When you're offering distant Reiki, which I do, well, I have had some health issues, so I haven't been doing much recently. I've got more into it again. Do you find that you don't really the time that you're doing the distant Reiki that doesn't need to be as long or as when you're in the presence of the animal? Or do you just go with your feelings of how long the Reiki's being, you know, accepted, absorbed by the animal?
Usually with distant for me, because I don't trust my sensitivity to energy. So usually I'll set a time 30 minutes because it takes me about 5 minutes to get into it. And then, so it's about a 20 to 25 minute session total.
Yeah.
And I just, go inward, meditate. But, at the beginning, you just dedicate the energy and tell the animal they can take as much or as little as they want. Because that way, a lot of times for us humans, we get distracted. And so we could think that even though we're not really maybe aware of that distraction, because we might even move or something, we think, oh, I don't really feel that anymore. But it could be really something that's going on with us as opposed to the energy from them. Because sometimes you can feel it really strongly. And then all of a sudden it just kind of fades. And you think, oh, maybe not. But then I've had, when I used to practice this a lot, I would have my friends, I'm going to send it to your animal and what's happening. And what I would think it had like kind of maybe lessened, like maybe they were up and walking, they were actually going deeper into it. So I don't really trust myself as a gauge. I just set that time limit because I think that's the safest thing to do. Because
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily you need more or less if it's distant. I think that you're less distracted if it's distance, right? So it takes us
True.
a shorter time to get into the space. Whereas when we're in person, it takes us a little bit longer. So what do you want to say about that, Jamie?
I think that's a really good point, Leah, because yeah, we're less distracted. So what I do, whether if I have a client and I'm in person with them or doing distant, I always set a timer. Because I just need to know, especially like, if it's so much per hour, like you have a client, it's a business type situation. I need to know that they're getting their time. And it also means I'm not distracted, like worrying about the time. Oh, what time is it? How long have I been doing this? I know that there's going to be a nice little bell ring when it's time to come out. So I don't need to worry about it. So it makes it easier for me to go in. Now, if I'm just out like at the ranch and I'm with animals, who cares? I don't care how long it goes, or I just kind of go by. If they walk away, fine. And, if I feel like it's time that I want to move on, then I thank them and move on. But whenever I'm working with a client or anything like that, I always set a timer.
Yeah. That's a really good practice.
That's a
really
good idea. Yeah, because sometimes you could. I think I've only been doing it for sort of like 10 minutes, and I've actually gone. You time just doesn't seem to have any any boundaries, and then you actually look at your clock and, oh God, I've been doing it for 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a
That-
cool feeling too when that happens.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
And
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's a really good indication that probably the animal did connect pretty deeply with you when time goes like that, because you really go deep with an animal. They can really help us to just go so much deeper than we can on our own. So thank you so much, Gilly. Love that question.
Yes.
Liza or Wilma, do you have a question?
Anything to share?
Liza says no. Wilma, did you have a question? No, you told me you had a question. Did we answer? Go ahead, you can ask.
Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. No, because my screen froze.
Oh,
No, it's just for the precepts. I've tried both ways. This may not be a question or answer, but anyway, I've tried like the way that I was doing it. For today, I will not worry. I will not anger. I will not worry. I will be grateful. And then I tried the way of the course. For today, I do not worry, do not anger, do not worry, be humble. And I noticed a big difference with the animals.
oh, really? Why don't you expand on that?
Well, I just found that, especially Lucky Boy, because he came to us a couple of years ago, he settled right down.
When
right
you
beside
did,
me.
when you did the new way?
Yeah, he came right out to me and he put his head on my lap, which is something that he doesn't normally do. Our cat does. Like he can sense the energy and he'll get up and he likes to be touched. So like, I'm petting him, whereas Lucky Boy is totally doesn't want to be touched. Whereas when I started reciting the new way, he came right up to me and he settled right down between my legs. And
I love that.
So I think I'm gonna continue, like I'm gonna practice both ways and just like, especially when I'm doing other animals, and see which way works the best.
Yeah, because it's really like we feel like it's an outward thing, right? We're reciting these things and it's very out here, but really it's what those words and the way they're being said are doing inside of our body. So when we're saying for today only, do not anger, it's an instruction, do not anger, do not worry, and then be humble, be grateful. So you're telling yourself, be humble, be grateful. You're giving yourself an instruction, and show compassion to yourself and to others. So it's a little bit different energy, right? The energetic, the energy behind those words, as opposed to, I will not anger, I will not worry. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't, right? So it's a different energy when we say it that way. And with people, I think that it's totally fine. But when we talk about the animals, we're going into a deeper space.
Yeah.
And so those, and they come from, and we talked about this, the precepts aren't something that was created for Reiki, that we think it very likely came from this book. I don't know if the book was called The Path to Soundness, but these instructions are called The Path to Soundness. So, and it's almost verbatim what these Reiki precepts are. So we're pretty sure that Usui probably got this. And the book was written in 1914, so way before Usui created Reiki. And there is a reason behind it. In the Japanese culture, there's lots of reasoning behind why they do things and the way they do things. And some of these are thousands of years old. Like some of the practices that we do, the Joshin Kokyoho breath, that's a couple thousand years old. The chanting is thousands of years old. So we're doing things that are tried and true. And I think that I'm really happy that you're, oh, I'm cutting in and out. Am I cutting in and out, guys? Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. Wilma's cutting it out.
Oh, her
So-
internet. Okay.
Yeah. So, and you can turn your video off too, Wilma, and it might help because sometimes the video takes bandwidth. But, when we're practicing the precepts too, remember it's that what we talked about, right? That outward, when we let go of anger, we get down to worry, right? Because worry, if you look at it the opposite, if you go, okay, when I lack compassion, I lack humility, and then I lack gratitude, I start to worry, and then I become angry. And then from anger, I become rageful, right? So if we can work on our anger and let go of that and get down to worry and start to let go of that, naturally, when we let go of worry, we become more grateful. It's so much easier for us to be grateful. We can be humble. We can let go of our ego. And now once we let go of our ego, we can be compassionate, because we lack compassion when our ego gets involved. When our ego says, that person did that to you, that person said something mean to you, that's our ego. But when we can let go of that, now we can see the person as a loving being, just because that's where we're connected. We're connected at our compassionate heart. We're not connected up here in our egos. Up here in our egos, we're at war with the rest of the world. But here at our heart, we're connected. So if we can do that, and if we could see the precepts is letting go of that. So for today only, do not anger. Okay, well, I've let that go. Do not worry, I've let that go. Now, oh, okay, be grateful, be humble, show compassion. It's a much easier flow when we look at it like that. Whereas if we say, I will not, we're not really taking away anything, because we're just saying, I will not, I will not, I will not. But again, we have, it's a path, right? So you start with what you're comfortable with, and then maybe you add something new, and then maybe you really resonate with that, and then you move on next. That's why we give you so many different versions of these precepts, so that you can, find one that works for you. Like Chris Marsh's precepts are, for today only, do not anger. Anger is an illusion. Because if you think about anger, when we're angry, sometimes we're angry about one thing one day, and then the next day that same thing could happen and we're not angry, right? Because anger is an illusion. It's all in our ego. Do not worry. Fear is distraction. When we're worried, we're fearful. So be true to your way, your being, right? So be grateful, be humble. That's who you truly are. And then you can show compassion to yourself, because he says that is the center of Buddhahood, is the original, but Kathleen changed that to, that's the center of love, or that's the center of the universe, whatever that is. Because really, where we're all connected at, I say this all the time, but it's so true, is our hearts and love. That is the emotion. That's the only emotion that's real, is love. If people get, when people get put under, or people are on prescription drugs, or they're on illegal drugs, whatever it is, they all say the same thing. They all feel love, right? It's like if you get high or whatever, you let go of all your inhibitions. What do you have left? Love. And it's repeated millions and bajillions of times. So there must be something to that, right? But we're lucky we don't have to do drugs. We can just go into that space through our practice. But also we have the animals. We have the animals that come to us with pure love, sit with us with pure love, right? And in that space, we can really feel what love is truly like. And then we start to realize that in that space, We're all connected. But one thing that I heard, and it was really wonderful, is it when we're sitting with an animal or anybody, when one of us is healed, if our heart is healed, all of us are healed because we're all connected. And I really love that it's, and so if we can think about that, like here in this group, you know, when we do our closing meditation, if we feel a healing, then if we're all healed, then even more people are healed, right? Because we're raising that energy to one of just love and compassion. And in that space, we're all healed.
And I think, Leah hit on a good point. When you try out these different writings of the precepts, right, you're going to find what resonates with you. And that, because it's all about you, how you're feeling and this energy and feeling love and compassion. And that's what the animals respond to. So if there's one that really resonates and puts you in that place faster or gets you there, they're going to respond. Whereas if you're trying to force one because, oh, I should be practicing this one, but it doesn't resonate with you, they're going to know that too.
Well, it's like the one, be compassionate to yourself and to others. I've changed that to be compassionate to myself and to others.
Yeah. Because you can't show true compassion to others unless you know true compassion.
No, and I gotta put it in my person, like as me.
Right.
That gets me. That gets me more calm, and I think that's what Lucky Boy, like, you realize that, because like you said, the I will, it's like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow I won't, or later on today I won't. Whereas for today only, do not anger, do not worry. Like you said, it's a command. So it's like, no, don't. And I think he sensed that, like, all of a sudden everything was starting to calm down.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Wilma. And Mary Lynn, you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, I know I did, but it had something to do with what, about the strongest connection, the heart and love. What if you are sitting with an animal who, like mine today at the shelter, they were, one in particular was very hyper and maybe nervous too. Where is that connection still there? I mean, how does the love fit in to that connection?
Well, you think about it. So if you were with, do you have kids, Mary Lynn?
No.
Okay.
No.
So if like, as a parent or even as a friend or whatever,
as an aunt, yes, I have.
Okay. So you still love your nieces, nephews, even when they're acting crazy. You have a deep love for them, and that's really what animals have for us. It's not like you have to prove, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. You don't have to do that. It's just knowingness. I love you, and that's the connection. So they can act however they want to act. That's the part about letting animals lead. We have to let them lead. It's their choice. Right. So we just say, sometimes animals don't want to take anything, and that's okay. And we can still, because really, again, we've said this lots of time, and I'll repeat it for Gilly, is that we're the sun. When we let go of all of this, we get in the space of the precepts, we're the sun. What does the sun do? The sun just shines. The sun doesn't go, oh, you're being crazy, I'm going to shine over here now. Oh, that's not where I'm going to, the sun just shines. And that way, the animals can come and take as much as they want. They can take a lot, or they can take a little, or maybe they just stay right out of the, of the, oh my God, of the rays, whatever that is. It's really, you are the sun and you just shine love. And that's all we're doing. We're getting down to our core, who we are, and we're just shining love without any expectation, without any judgment. And that is so powerful.
Okay.
That-
Yeah, when you said the knowingness, that word makes a lot of sense in this connection. Yeah.
And I think, for me, when I'm in that situation, it's like, what I'm saying to them is, I see you. They're in a shelter. They're upset. This may, maybe their first day, they're freaked out. They don't know what's going on. And what could possibly be more loving than to say, I see you. I can't fix it. I can't change it, but I see you. And then, just let them decide what they need to do in that situation.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah, we used to, well, I still do. We teach this in the Animal Reiki for Reiki practitioners. You can say, you are loved, you are safe,
Mhm.
you are seen.
Mhm. Yeah, I
you know?
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And just because they may not react, that's okay. Because they're, it's just like if someone's trying to talk to you, like if you're stressed out and you're like, oh my gosh, and someone tries to talk to you and says, oh, Mary Lynn, it's fine. You go, oh yeah. I know. But you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you don't hear it. And it just means that right now you're not willing to accept it. And maybe later you'll go, oh, it was okay. And so maybe later that dog, when he sees you again, will be like, oh yeah, I had a connection with her.
And you can still hold space for them
Yeah.
in that moment, just like we can with people, if they're freaking out, we can still hold space. We're still anchored and grounded. So that radiates out. We just don't see them respond the way we're used to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Wilma. Yeah.
What about remember your perfection? That was in the lesson number 2 video. There was a missus that was doing Reiki, and she said, remember your perfection, and she said everything, like, you're looking at the dog or the cat or whatever from the inside.
Right. Right. Seeing them as perfect when we see animals, because that's how animals see us. We've talked a lot about that. When animals see us, they don't see what's going on out here. They see what's going on inside of us, where our heart is. That's what they're picking up on. Our energy. Is our energy loving and kind and open? Or is our energy like, get out of my way? That's what they're connecting with. And so it really is when we see their perfection, when we see their heart. Oh, we lost Wilma. When we see their heart, that's, our hearts are connecting. It's like Kathleen talks a lot about that heart-to-heart connection, but what that really means is that you're letting go of the outward and you're just going inward and making that connection. I wanted to share something I heard recently, and it was so mind-blowing for me. It was such a great way, because we talk about, you have to have forgiveness in order to get to your deeper place of love. And it was, we get mad when somebody says something or somebody does something. And the example was given, what if your family or your partner or, whoever, your best friend forgot your birthday? And you would be so upset, right? They forgot your birthday. And it's like, I don't mean anything to them, blah, blah, blah. But what if you said to yourself, wow, the person I really love deeply forgot my birthday? Then that changes it, because now you're like, oh, something must be wrong. They must be really stressed. They must, but when you think of it in the terms of somebody I care about and love deeply forgot my birthday, something must be going on with them. And I thought that was such a great way to look at it, because we all love each other at our deeper core, right? We might get really upset with each other out here, but at our core, we love each other. And so if somebody that is close to you hurts you, you can say, like my brother hurt my feelings over the Christmas holiday. He's such a jerk sometimes, but I really went inward with that, because I thought, you know what? Todd is awkward. Todd has got all these things going on, and I could forgive him because, I love my little brother. He tries his best. It just always isn't the best, but, it was easier for me to forgive him. And so when I heard this, and I wanted to share it with all of you, because I thought, that's a really great way, because we all get our feelings hurt by things that people do and say. And so if we can look at them differently and say, wow, something must be going on for them to say that and want to hurt me, or, to not even realize that maybe that was rude or whatever, you know, because really it is the other person. It's never you. It's like you can control what's going on with you and how you process it, because your ego is what tells you, oh my God, that was bad. But if we're coming from our heart, then we can see everything as love, and somebody just tripped or whatever it was. So I wanted to share that because I thought that is just, oh, it's 11:11 over here too. That where I am, because I'm on the Pacific Coast,
Yeah.
and
Thank
Liza too, and you too, exactly. So you know, it's just a different way. We have to change the way we think of things in order for us to really get to that place where we're deeply connected. Because it's our ego, like Mary Lynn, like you experienced, right? Your ego's telling you, oh, this isn't working, or for Jilly, you know, it's like, oh, this is enough time, maybe not, you know, there's all this chatter up here. And instead of just coming for your heart and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do without any expectation. This is what I'm dedicating to this. And especially Mary Lynn in the shelter, that's a really good thing too. You know, you give yourself a set amount of time, even if it's only 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever that is, you set your time and you dedicate it, and then you can move on. I don't know if you want to say something to that too, Jamie.
Yeah, I think that is so true. And as you were talking, it reminded me, you know, it's like, don't take anything personal. And isn't it in the 4 agreements? That's one
Yeah.
of the agreements. It's not personal, or I'm not exactly sure of the wording, but we often do. And why do we do that? Because we are programmed for that. Let's face it, from the time we are babies, we come into this world and we get programmed into it. You know, to why did they do this? And oh, they must not like me, or oh, you know, all this program is running in our subconscious. We may not even be aware of it, and we react to it. And so as we go into this program, as we begin our self journey and we begin to change and we become more passionate and we see the light, we have to be aware that those programs are still running. You know, and if we're not doing our practice, if we're not living in this light, we can easily, like, it can happen. And even if we are living in the light, right, we can have things happen and we blow up or something. And then we go, God, why did I do that? You know, what happened? And it's probably just some old programming going on. And that's like a great learning opportunity when you do that, to sit down and go, okay, you know, why did I do that? What caused it? What was my thinking, you know, that led me to that? Because that's not who I am. So, you know, I just think that we have a wonderful learning opportunity when that happens. And we just, you know, we always have to be on our toes. This is not like something, Reiki isn't something you just learn in a weekend and then, okay, now I'm done. I mean, look at how many years of training, and Leah and I and all of us have continued to go through to refine our skills, to stay tuned in, you know, to this way of thinking, this way of being. So it's not something that you just do and, okay, now I'm done, I can move on to something else. This is something we actually have to live, and we have to be aware that there's things going on up in our mind that can derail us.
That's why the precepts are so good, because they make you aware. So if you get angry, you can go, oh, for today, only do not anger. And then you can bring something positive to your mind, right? Because it's really just about switching your thinking.
Yeah.
It's about when there's something negative, switch it to positive. When there's something ugly, you switch it to love, right? We see so many horrible images out there. But you know what? It's more powerful for you to send love. If you see, like, let's say horse abuse, it's easy for us to go, oh my God, that's horrible. Well, guess what? We're bringing the energy so far down. We're adding to that, right? Instead, we could say, I send you love and light. I love you. I see you. I'm sending love to this. Now we've raised the elevation. Yes, we haven't changed everything, but if everyone did that, imagine how much the energy would elevate just by us sending love instead of negativity. You know, we're raised to think that negative thinking is more realistic than positive thinking, but that's not true. So if we can catch ourselves with the precepts, that's the first step. And then we can go deeper and deeper and deeper into that, so that as soon as we hear something negative, we can say, you know what? I'm sending love to that, because that's where your power is. It all comes back to love. If you're like, oh my gosh, that's horrible, it's horrible. Guess what? We're all connected energetically. And if you're thinking about that horse, that dog, that cat, whatever it is, guess what? Boom, boom, they're getting berated by all these negative thoughts. But if you could send love, guess what? Now they feel that love. Now there's a little bit of hope, right? Now there's a little bit of spark. It's like, oh, wow, I feel that love. So we just have to really be cognizant of that as Reiki practitioners and animal Reiki practitioners, that when we catch ourselves with these negative thoughts, go positive, because your positive thoughts are so much more powerful than your negative. And we just have to rewire ourselves. It's our limited beliefs, it's our mindset. And so go for the positive. And once you start doing that, it becomes automatic.
And I didn't mean to interrupt, but there's so many people doing good things. I just want to brag a little bit. So Wendy's Ranch and Rescue is the rescue that I'm on the board, and I take students out there. Well, they were contacted by BYU TV. There's a show on there called Making Good. And they came out, and they're going to feature the show this season. But so I went on, because you can sign up for the app or you can download it on your computer. And I watched some of his shows because I wanted to see what this was about. And oh my gosh, I mean, I was crying but there are so many people out there, how he finds them. All these guys that are competitive barbecuers, they got together during a tornado down south, and now they go to rescues and they have massive, coolers, and they feed like 50,000 people, and they're volunteering to do this. I'd never heard of them. So many stories that he featured that I had never heard of. And it's like, there's so many people doing good things out there. And it just made me feel great. And, I'm excited to see what they do with Wendy's.
Well, they're raising the elevation, right?
Yes.
Like, so you felt like, look at what an impact that was on you when you heard about that. That's why, like, this conference that we're doing, that's one of the reasons we're doing it. We want to elevate. There's a lot of suffering going on, but there's a lot of people doing really wonderful work. And we are some of those people. Each and every one of us are some of those people. We're all doing something small to raise the vibration of the world, right? And if we all do it, your light ignites somebody else's light, ignites somebody else's light. Pretty soon we're all up here and we're no longer down on this negative vibration. I love that so much. And it's exciting. It's very exciting. So if you're going to be on Facebook, go for the positive, go for those dodo videos, go for the Asher House.
Yes. I love those.
Mary Lynn.
Oh
They're
my
so
God.
good.
They're so good. Oh, now
I know I
Jamie,
follow.
oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, Mary Lynn. No.
Jamie, that news program, can I get it on the
Yeah.
East Coast?
Yes, you can, because I'll put it right in here. BYU.
Okay.
BYU TV is what it's called.
BYU TV.
Yeah.
Is it done by BYU? Is it done by Brigham Young? Okay.
Yeah, it's Brigham
Brigham
Young University Television.
Nice.
And so it's basically all online. They have an app, or you can just Google BYU TV and you'll be able to pull it up on your laptop or your, desktop. And then the show is Making Good.
Nice.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah.
It's just fabulous. I was so impressed. The quality is good because, I used to work in television, so I wanted to see what this was about. And I'm like, oh, look at those edits. Oh, that's nice. They did a really nice job with the editing, his interview. He is a Mormon comedian who started this because he just wanted to highlight people doing good in the world. And so it's kind of humorous, he throws in some humor, but sometimes he's crying because he's so moved by what people do. And it just made me feel so good, because if you had told me I'd be watching BYU TV, I'd probably say, yeah, right. But so I'm so glad that, Wendy's got on there, because now it's like, oh, let me see what's going on there. I need to feel good.
I think that that's really important. It's just like, if you're down, watch comedy. If you're
Yes.
sad, watch feel good stories. And there are people that are doing, like, we're so overwhelmed with the news and all the negativity and all the fighting that we forget that there's so much light. And so if we can focus on the light, it just makes it brighter, right? And that's how we change our world. We don't change our world by focusing on the negative and what's happening. We change it by focusing on the light. And what's really exciting too is, like, if you find places, if you focus on these positive stories, there's this one called Asher House. This guy goes and he adopts dogs. Like, he gets them in the worst. Do you know what I'm talking about, Liza, the Asher House guy? I didn't realize he was in Estacada, which is so close to us. And so I'm going to reach out and contact him after the conference and see if he would be open to me coming and, meditating with his dogs. But I was so excited because he's doing, oh, you saw it this morning? Oh, great. He's doing such amazing work. So when we start looking for these things, we open ourselves up to it. And then you can find out, wow, this is really close to me. I mean, maybe they would be open to it, because people who are doing good things are going to be very open to what we're doing, because we believe in letting animals lead, and we give animals choice and we give them respect. And that's really rare. I know, like in the UK, there's a big problem with the animal Reiki there, because it's all about hands-on. It's all about figuring out what the disease is, what's wrong with the animal. And we don't focus on that at all. And I really hope that one day we can get the Royal Vets College to understand where we're coming from. And we just haven't had time to put into it, but we really are hoping that we can get in front of them one day and show them that this is what you need to support, because supporting the other way is going against animals and their care. So we'll see. But does anybody else have any more questions? Because we're at 11:22 and we could do a nice meditation. Liza, do you want to at least just say hi? But it's totally fine if you don't. Oh, and Gilly has a question.
Say hi.
Hi.
I guess I'll say a little bit about 4 agreements that came up. I actually studied with a shaman for about 3 years that studied with Don Miguel, who wrote the book, The 4 Agreements. And the thing that you were talking about earlier, Leah, about doing your best, that's the 4th agreement. And so doing your best is different depending on where you're at in the moment, right? Whether you're sick, happy, sad, drunk, injured, super stressed out. I just dealt with this and oh my God, I'm reacting this way. But it was the best that you did in that moment.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that so much, because it's so true, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Gilly, you had one more thing to say?
Very quick question. I didn't quite.
No.
Is the name of the book you mentioned The Path to, or The Path of Oneness, Soundness, something?
It's Bazuki. Let me see.
I don't know the name of the
Bazan.
book.
Suzuki Bazan. And I don't think this is the name of the book. Oh, Bazan, I think. Path to Soundness. I don't know and he's a doctor. It's Dr. Suzuki Bazan, and it was written in 1914. I think that's his last name.
Yeah, the book it was in Japanese, of course, and I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
I'm trying to see if somebody. Yeah, that's that.
But I bet if you Google The Path to Soundness, it might come up.
Okay, I couldn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't actually hear the last word for some reason, so now I know it's soundness. Thank you.
I'm gonna put James Deacon. So James Deacon is a pretty good resource right now. There is a Reiki history book that's going to be written by Justin Stein. He's finishing that up. Hopefully that'll come out this year. And he's a very well-respected Reiki scholar. And he's going to do he's done a deep dive into the history. And Nicholas Pearson, who is also a historian, he is a good friend of ours, and he has told us that this book is coming out. He's seen it and he said it's amazing. So they're probably going to cover this a lot. They really, Justin went deep into the roots and history of Reiki, because we really don't know, like Sensei Yakutin says, we know what we could prove, but then what we don't know, we say, this is what they say, but we can't prove it, right? So this is what we believe, but we can't prove it. And so we're hoping that Justin can actually prove some of those. So James Deacon right now is a really good source, and he mentions this in that link that I just sent. So yeah, and I did get the name right. It is Dr. Suzuki Bazan. It was written in 1914, this book, but I think it's the poem or whatever is called The Path to Soundness. And more than likely that is where Asui got this, because it's almost verbatim of what we use for the precepts. So
Fabulous. Thank you.
yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks for asking. All right. So because now that you've asked, we got another link. So that was good. See, this is why we ask questions. This is why we comment, because we all grow, we all learn, and this is a really wonderful community. And so we are going to do our meditation. Now, I don't know, Jamie, if you want me to do it, if you want to do it.
It doesn't matter. I can do it if you want.
Okay, sure.
Since I'm sitting on the edge of the couch with my nice straight back because I'm being pushed off. So everyone just get comfortable. Sit with your spine straight if you can, but we still want you in a comfortable position. And go ahead and just take a couple of deep breaths. In and then out to release any tension of the day. Just let that tension go. One more deep breath in. And then exhale out any stress or tension. Now go ahead and bring your hands in Gaso, or the prayer position. Set your intention to join in this meditation, to create a space of healing for all those who need it, a space of support. And begin with the Josh and Kokyoho breath. Breathe in through your nose and just pull that breath all the way down to your belly. And when it hits your belly, it ignites that light that is inside of you. And then as you exhale out this light. And now breathe in again, breathing in all the way down to the belly, really igniting the light that resides in your hara, this universal light. And then as you exhale out, feel that light travel up your body, igniting the cells and out through your skin and your hands into the space around you. Take another breath in, pull it all the way down to the belly, ignite your light, and exhale this light back up and out into the space around you. Take another breath in, igniting the light that resides inside you. Your whole body is illuminated now. And as you exhale, this light goes out into the space around you, out to the heavens. Let's take two more. Breathe in, ignite the light, and exhale this light back out. Take another breath in, igniting this light, and exhale this light back out to the heavens. Now let your breath find a natural rhythm. Your entire body, every cell is glistening. You're illuminated with this universal divine light that resides inside of you. And place your focus on your heart center. And you can place your hands on your heart if it helps. And just focus on the energy shining bright in your heart center, the home of compassion, the home of healing. And with every breath, just feel it Feel larger and larger, this heart center of yours. It just fills up with more and more light with each breath you take in. And just feel that heart center growing so large, full of light, that it can't even hold it anymore. And it opens like a flower blooms gently and allows the light to shine outward. Visualize this beautiful divine light shining out from your heart. This light of love and compassion. Your true self shining outward, brighter and brighter with every breath. It grows larger and larger. Feel the love and joy just resonate in every cell of your body. Know that everyone who comes in contact with this beautiful light will feel the love and joy, whether they're people or animals or plants. This is our connection to all life. We are all one, and we feel it in the love and the joy. And just allow that to shine out. And allow it to fill your body with love and joy and compassion. And now, take a moment, go back into Gasso if you are not in it, and give thanks to the oneness, to the love, the compassion, the joy, and to all others that we are connected to. They allow us to be. And now, before you come out of this beautiful space you're in, remind yourself that you will carry this love and this light and this joy and compassion in your heart today, and take it with you wherever you go. And now just take a deep cleansing breath in, pull it all the way down to the hara. Let it anchor you back into this reality. Feel yourself come back into this plane, into this room, into the furniture you're sitting on. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. So thank you, everyone. I feel connected.
Thanks, Jamie. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Yes.
Gilly, so great to see you. Haven't seen you in so long. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Wilma.
Thank you so much, Mary Lynn, Liza, Lois, Wilma.
Everyone. We so appreciate seeing everyone today.
Oh, great. Wilma loved that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great seeing everyone. So hopefully next week we're probably going to do Q&A next week again. And yeah, it'll be so close to the conference
Yes.
at that time.
Hopefully we can see all of you next week, and we'll see you at conference, we hope.
Yes, definitely. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.